Hi, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another video in my witchcraft series that I have started on my channel. In my first witchcraft video, which was a witchcraft haul, I got a lot more views and acceptance than I thought I would get, and it has been an awesome journey so far. Seeing all the comments, you guys giving me advice for things, it's been amazing. But I have also gotten probably, I think, hundreds of messages from people asking me how I got started and if I can give some recommendations on how I got started with witchcraft and the things I can show you guys, I guess. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you what I did to learn about witchcraft, and I'm still learning. Witchcraft, you will be learning for your whole life. You're always researching things. It's not something that just stops. Witchcraft is always something that you will be just doing research on and studying, kind of like how other people, like Christians, study the Bible. It's very similar to that. In witchcraft, you are always learning new things. So in this video, I won't have everything you need to know, but for the beginner witches out there, just like me, I'm very much a beginner. I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what you can start with to start the craft. Oh, and yes, my hair is pink. I was allowed to keep it at work, so now it's like bright pink now, and I'm the elephant in the room. I'm just gonna go ahead and mention that. I wanted to make a sit down video because I haven't done this in a while, so if you guys get bored with me talking, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a video just giving information. But I want to first explain how I got started into witchcraft and basically what got me interested in it. So my entire life, I have been raised a Christian. My whole family is very hardcore Christian. It's not my thing. I've never enjoyed being in church. I've never enjoyed the people around Christianity. I've just never really been a big fan of it. I never felt like I fit in. I was always judged for the way I looked. I just did not like being a Christian by any means. And I'm all for Christians being who they want to be and what they want to believe. I just personally don't believe in it myself. So I grew up in a very hardcore Christian family where I didn't even really think about witchcraft as an option because I didn't want to stray too far from being a Christian. But as I moved out and I've been on my own, I've really let myself be in this world of witchcraft and learn about it. I've been low-key watching videos and researching like Wicca and witchcraft for probably years now. I actually started watching the YouTuber Harmony Nice, which a lot of you guys probably know who that is if you're watching my video. She has this awesome series on her channel where she talks about witchcraft and Wicca, and she has all these different episodes where she talks about like altars and grimoires and just a lot of awesome stuff. She's really good at teaching that. If you guys want to check her out, I'll put the link for her channel down below. She also has a book called Wicca. I haven't really identified as Wiccan. I don't really like religion itself. I like the craft of witchcraft and the practice of it, but I'm not very big into religion. But this book is awesome, and I'll get more into it later, but she actually has a whole book about witchcraft and paganism and Wicca, being a Wiccan and things like that. So I actually started watching her videos years ago. There's also many awesome witchcraft YouTubers, and there's probably more than I can even think of, but there's so many on here that teach amazing things about witchcraft. So after kind of having it in the back of my head of that being something that I am interested in, I never really acted on it because I was too scared. But like I said, when I moved out, I finally decided that it's something that I want to look more into and that I want to practice. The first thing I ever picked up that had to do with witchcraft was tarot cards. And I've had my tarot deck for over a year now. I think I've almost had them 2 years, and I love doing tarot. It's the first thing that I ever started doing that I knew I had a connection with. If you guys have ever been interested in tarot cards, just the thought of it, I recommend just picking up a deck and just kind of have a feel for it. The first deck I have ever picked up, and I still use pretty much every single time to this day, is the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this is by Kim Kranz. The art and everything is absolutely stunning on these cards. I've done almost every single tarot reading on myself with these cards, and I just absolutely am obsessed with the art on them. I've always loved them. I felt a strong connection to them, and these are just the ones that I've used. When you start using tarot, and I don't know if I'm the only one, you kind of feel a connection to your cards, and you can feel kind of the power that come from them when you're doing readings, and this is the deck that I have the most like power from. Most tarot sets come with guidebooks that tell you what each card is about. So if you just look into tarot, that is something that may be interesting to you. And that's the first thing that started my love for witchcraft, was tarot. And then I started picking up more tarot decks because there's just so many beautiful art on tarot decks that I just started picking up more. And recently I got this one, which is so my style, is Kawaii Tarot. This one's more one for display. I keep this in display in my office, but there's so many different kinds. So if you guys have different, witchcraft is not about aesthetics, but if you have a certain aesthetic that you like, then there's different tarot cards for each kind. So I would recommend starting with that because I feel like tarot is the easiest thing to start with, personally, in my opinion. So from what a lot of you guys told me on my video is that you do not need physical things to be a witch. If you guys are younger, or if you're a broom closet witch and you're not allowed to talk about it or be open out with your family about being a witch, you do not have to have an altar like the things I have behind me. You do not have to have all of this stuff to be a witch. All you need is yourself and intention. That's all you need. Witchcraft is about intent. It's the intent that you put into the things that you are doing. It is not about the things that you have. Personally, I just have things on my altar and things that I like to use because I personally like doing that myself, but that does not mean that you have to have anything. Some people just use their mind with intent and maybe a piece of paper and a pen to write down the things that they are doing. That is all you need. So no, you do not have to have things to be a witch. You just need yourself. So next I'm going to show you the books that I personally read to learn a lot more about being a witch. And there's a lot more that a lot of you guys recommended to me that I'm looking into buying and checking out, but these are the ones that I have personally read so far that have really helped me in my journey. So the first one I read was actually, I think, about a year ago. This was before I was even really starting the craft of witchcraft. I read this book called Wikipedia, A Modern Day White Witch's Guide. And I read this just for like a readathon I was doing on my booktube channel, but it had a lot of really good information in it. I don't think it's the best book. I feel like this is more of a witch who talks about her personal preferences, but that's okay. But that's one of the ones that I read, and it has a lot about different crystals and herbs and different spirit guides and things like that in here. The one that I recommend the most is The Modern Guide to Witchcraft by Sky Alexander. This is the first book that I read that really helped me learn a lot about witchcraft. I know there's a lot of books, I believe, by like Scott Cunningham that a lot of you guys recommend for beginners, and I personally don't have that yet, but this is one that I got into. This has anything you could possibly think of in it. It basically talks about, there's like different types of witches, what being a witch is, witchcraft, all the different elements, the different gods and goddesses that you can talk to. I personally am not the type that have gods and goddesses. Like, I don't have them on my altar or anything like that, just because I don't really do that myself, but there's a lot of people that have like a god and a goddess that they talk to and give things to on their altar. It talks about Wicca in here. There's so much stuff in here that I'm just trying to find. It has all the different flowers, not all of them, but most of the flowers that are used, herbs, crystals. I mean, there's so much information on here. It even has spells that you can try. So like right here, there's a tarot spell to increase your income. Tells you the ingredients you need, like a green candle, white candle, object that represents your desire, tarot cards, and matches or a lighter. So it just tells you what to say, what to do, and it's really awesome. It's something that really helped me, and the book's not too expensive. I actually got it on Book Outlet for like $5. So just check out places like that. And there's also another one that she has, which is the Modern Witchcraft Grimoire. I cannot say that word fast, but I actually haven't read this one yet. This is the next one that I'm going to get into, but it's basically about like a book of shadows, and I do have my own book of shadows. It's right here. I haven't done too much with it yet, so I'm not even going to show you guys. I tea stained the pages just to kind of make it look a little bit older, but I recommend getting at least a book, maybe just a book to write down the things that you're doing, maybe how your tarot spreads went, different crystals, herbs, just things that you learn. Write it all down so you can go back and study it more. But one of the #1 books that I recommend is Harmony Nice's book. This one was probably more informational than this one to me, even though this one is mainly focused on Wicca. It also has paganism and actually many different types of religions and stuff in here as well, and it also talks about witchcraft. So this one talks a lot about many different things, but it's very helpful for beginners. She has it worded very nicely where if you're a beginner, you understand things. It has astrology in here, crystals, casting circles, There's so many different things. It talks about the different celebrations, the moon phases, everything like that. So these are the books that I personally have used to learn about witchcraft, and of course I've used a couple apps as well. A lot of you guys recommended the app, the Witches Amino app, which is right there. I'll put the link for mine down below if you want to follow me. It has a bunch of witches on there who just talk about their journey, and you can have spells and stuff in there. And then the Wicca app has spells, and then the Moon app. Those are the ones that I personally use the most. I use the Moon app to see what the moon phase is of the night, of the day, because there's different spells and different things that you can do with the different moon phases. And actually tomorrow is the full moon, so I'm super excited about that. There's a bunch of different things you can do on the full moon. And I personally like to have little planners or journals, and I found the Mindful Witch Daily Journal, which is absolutely beautiful. And I have wrote in it, but each month there's different entries that you can do. Talks about the different spells you can do, different moons that there are each month, and you can write in it. So that's one that you could try. And then this one is a Coloring Book of Shadows planner for 2020. A lot of people I saw had a lot of positive reviews on that. There's a lot of information, and you can also color, so it's a little interesting as well. Has the different moon phases in here, and you just fill it out throughout the year, and it kind of can be your own book of shadows if you want it to be. So those are the books that I have used to learn. As you can see behind me, I have my altar. You don't need an altar, or you can have a portable altar that's in like a little box that you can take with you places. But personally, I just keep everything up here. If you guys want me to do an altar tour, I will, but I don't have everything on here that I really want yet. But candles are a great thing to have, especially white candles, because you can pretty much use white candles for anything. Crystals, I have my crystals right here. And quartz can be used for pretty much anything as well. So if you pick up quartz crystals, you can use that. Herbs, I have herbs back there. You can use literally all natural things. You can literally go outside and get plants, herbs, rainwater. Personally, I have some fresh rainwater right here, and I'm actually going to put it out on the full moon to charge it with the full moon, and you can use it in spells and just rituals and things like that. I also have a jar full of flowers, because for Beltane I put flowers out on my altar. So you can literally just have cheap little jars just full of things that you find outside, dirt, flowers, literally anything. You don't have to buy anything for witchcraft. Personally, I'm an incense gal. I like to use incense more than like bundles. Like, I absolutely hate the smell of sage bundles, like all natural ones. I think they smell like BO, and I absolutely hate them. And it sucks because sage is one of the main things used for cleansing the area. So I use sage incense sticks because it smells so much better. So I have just different types of incense that you can use. Each incense has different things that it is used for. Like, I have lavender. I like that when I can't sleep. It helps with migraines and going to sleep, helps calm you down, things like that. And then there's frankincense, black cherry. There's so many different types. Dragon's blood that you can get, and you can find these for like $1 at Walmart or the Dollar Tree, things like that. They're super cheap. That's pretty much all the things that are on, my altar. I have my tarot cards and stuff, but other than my incense and my crystals, I pretty much just use intent, and I light some few candles, and I'll do tarot readings on myself. But like I said, these are not things that you have to use yourself. You only need yourself for witchcraft. So if you're a beginner witch and you are looking for a way to start the craft or just do research, I literally, even if you can't buy a book, I recommend just going on Google and just looking up different things that interest you. You could look up different types of crystals, different types of herbs. You could just literally look up what is witchcraft, what is Wicca. Research as much as possible and figure out what you want to do on your own, because each person's witchcraft journey is different. My journey is not going to be the same as yours journey. My journey is not going to be the same as another YouTuber who does witchcraft. It's different for everyone. So always just be researching, always keep an open mind, and be careful. A lot of people really jump into just immediately doing spells and rituals and things like that. And there are some things that you can do that can have a bad and negative thing to it. So just be careful. Research anything before you do it. Research herbs and things before you start drinking and putting them in tea, because they could be toxic and kill you. So just do research on every single thing that you are doing. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. Like I said, I'm a beginner myself, so there's a lot of things I still don't know myself, but these are just the things that I wanted to show you to help you start the journey yourself. I have all of my social medias down below if you guys would like to check them out. I post a lot more on my Twitter and Instagram than I do on YouTube, so you guys will see a lot more of the backstory of the things I do in my life, especially on Instagram. So check those out down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.